Hello, gentle viewers. This is Vindian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Boston Braves. I wanted to address a specific comment that someone had made on the last Monday video, or maybe two Monday videos ago, where they suggested that we tank in order because the team is getting fairly old. Well, I do sympathize with that approach. The truth is, I don't really have an incentive to tank. Because if we tank, say, this season, or even next season, it's unlikely the rebuild will be finished by the time I am ready to move on to another team. Because remember, in 1930, we're going to be changing, or 1931 rather, we're going to be changing to a new team. So it would only give me 5 years, and I don't think a full-sale tank job is needed. Because we keep coming extremely close to making the playoffs. I mean, yes, we finished third in 1925, but we finished 82 and 72. And our lineup is very young, apart from Hank Severeid. We're not relying too heavily on older players. That only becomes an issue when we start talking about the rotation. Now, if we take a look at the draft pool... Oh, by the way, someone else had mentioned, why don't you look at future draft pools? It doesn't list them in this particular mode. They just don't do it in historical years. For example, 1927, nobody. 28, no one. 29, no one. I know 1926, but I don't know any other year. With that said, let us quickly examine who our best options would be. So, assuming we trust our scout, and I have very little reason not to trust my scout, we can probably count on someone at this part here dropping to us in the draft. I'll be honest with you, a guy like Woody English has a lot of appeal, but I'm not convinced he would fall far enough. We're probably looking at somebody like Hod Lisenby or Bill Walker, being the kind of talent that's going to fall to us. Hasn't Mel Ott been picked like twice before and hasn't signed? No, he just... Okay, I don't know how you don't sign Mel Ott, but whatever, dude. Didn't we also just get a new scout? No, he's the same guy we've had for a while now. He's just, yeah. So, we clearly need an upgrade to the rotation if we can manage it. I clearly need a better shortstop, and I will take 1,000% of the blame on this. There is no reason I should have missed how badly Leo DeRocher was playing, other than my general apathy for wanting to watch every single game. He was not only a dumpster fire as a hitter, he was even worse as a shortstop. So that's entirely on me. And we're going to have to acquire another shortstop somehow, some way. Maybe that's the draft. Maybe it's a waiver claim. Who knows? But Leo DeRocher is not ready to be our opening day shortstop. Sure. Welcome back there, Bumpo. But yeah, we definitely need to get a younger rotation. I just don't see a way to do that quickly enough to make a difference. Like, Hadley, Pruitt, and Whitehill are all kind of the same pitcher in that they all have bad control. And we need somebody who can throw strikes consistently and keep the ball down if we're going to succeed in any real fashion. And the cupboard is extremely bare in terms of the farm system. I can probably make Bill Moore the opening day a backup catcher and not lose much. Like, he's not a good catcher, but he's just a backup. He's not a long-term solution, and we'll need to find one of those eventually. Is this another one of those silly things where someone randomly unretires and then tries to come back to us and we're just like, go to hell? Yeah. All get released. I said you all get released. What is there on free agency these days? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually super tempted by Al Lafif. Just because I need a shortstop that can at least play the position well. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him a contract. And I also like Pete Kilduff as a backup. As someone to just sit on the bench and provide some decent innings. Although he has consistently been below replacement level. But then they've also asked for an awful lot from him. This is not a player who should be playing that often. But whatever. What is your job right now, Thomas Long? You're my AA coach. I will happily offer you a 2-year deal. Who won a gold glove for the Braves? Hank Severy did. Again, his third one. And interesting, they've come in the last 3 years when he's been in his late 30s. Or mid to late 30s. That's pretty impressive, actually. Oh, let's just do all the awards. We also got Silver Slugger and Pie Trainer, of all players. How is Lou Gehrig that much better than Jim Bottomley? Although Jim Bottomley did have kind of a crappy year for home run power. You're just holding me up for a raise, aren't you, Jimmy? I'll take it. Although I think it's highway robbery. You raised an intriguing question. Do I trade Walter Johnson? Not for this. This is a garbage tier offer that only an absolute moron would take. Like, there is nothing of value in this offer. However, here's my issue with trading Walter Johnson. He's still playing at a high level. And I don't have an internal replacement. And I would be utterly stunned if anyone would take Walter Johnson and give me a good prospect in return. Like, they're going to offer me junk because they think I want to save the money, and I don't care about saving the money. The truth of the matter is Walter Johnson at 39 is still my ace. So if I'm going to move on from him, it has to be for something awfully good. So So let's just say, for instance, what kind of offers are being made for one Walter Johnson? I'm seeing a lot of first basemen, some corner outfielders. It's not worth it. None of these players is more valuable to me than Walter Johnson. Now, eventually, Walter Johnson's gonna hit a wall. And you can argue he might have done so already. He's already not throwing as hard as he used to. But I just don't have another option right now. If I had a better option, I would consider trading him. But yeah, this is an insulting deal. I wish I had like a double middle finger deal just to convince the AI that that's insulting. Okay. I appreciate your mind games here. You're saying, oh, you rejected Hod Kibble and Jimmy Hudgens. But what if we offered you Jimmy Hudgens and Hod Kibbe? Like, changing the order of the names is going to make a difference? Come on, Cubs. Just stop before you hurt yourselves. Now I definitely want that double middle finger option. Meh. Like, I've got to say, on the surface, this is a much closer deal because it fills two holes that we have right now on the team. We get a good backup catcher in Mo Berg, and we get a decent shortstop in Chappie Gagan. However, it doesn't fix the fundamental issue that losing Walter Johnson is going to hurt the team. At least this is trading them to the American League, right? Where it's not going to hurt me immediately. Could I get like Lefty Williams too? This trade would be advantageous to us. Yeah, you think? What if I threw in Dave Davenport? No. Like, I'm not even opposed to trading Pie Trainer for a deal like this. But it really just kicks the can down the road, doesn't it? It really just kicks the can down the road. What if I just said Williams for Johnson? Okay. I'm surprisingly intrigued by this option now. Can I still get Mo Berg? Yes. Can I still get Gagan? I'm not going to offer you Kent Greenfield. I could offer you Tom Hughes. He's already 42. Can I get... I don't really want Ike Davis. Could I get, like, Lefty O'Doul? No, I don't think I'd want him. I'd have to move Goose Gossage. I'd rather get Dick Cox. Okay. Let's talk about what we're giving up in this deal. before I pull the trigger. We're trading, it admittedly, an Inner Circle Hall of Famer, one of the best Boston Braves that's ever played the game, in Walter Johnson. We're trading 2 relievers, and in exchange we're getting a new starting pitcher, a right fielder who's at the bare minimum equal to my existing right fielder and probably better. And I get I get a good solid backup catcher in Moberg, and I get a shortstop who could stumble through a year or two in the majors if we needed him to. This isn't a home run because it's still giving up Walter Johnson. But Lefty Williams is pretty damn good. He's a pretty damn good consolation prize. He probably just wants to play for a winner. I'm gonna offer this, and we're gonna see if the GM takes it. He'll do it. Yes. I think I take this deal. I think I still feel good about that deal. I think we got a lot younger at rotation. He's still 33. We have a consistent performer who's exceeded every expectation for the last few seasons. And I can't stress this enough. We traded with the AL. This is not a trade that's going to hurt us in the short run. It might hurt us in the long run. If we get it to the World Series and get shut down by, say, Walter Johnson. But this is not going to hurt us in the short run at all. Even if Walter Johnson pitches for another 5 years. I like this trade. I think it makes us more competitive for a World Series right now. And that's before we add more talent in the draft. Sometimes you got to be a mercenary. And I think this is one of those times. Nope. Russ Ford should have made it in last time. Ed Carger. Maybe. I don't love the deal, but I will cautiously offer my support for him. I do think Ed McFarland makes it. Definitely George Mullen. That's a layup. My old pal Orval Overall. I gotta vote for him. Harry Steinfeld, yes, of course. And then there's frankly just a lot of players that all seem... You know what? I'm not going to vote for Mullen. No, yes, I am. What the hell's wrong with me? It's Ford I'm not going to vote for. I mean, I love that war. And it's not his fault that he didn't pitch for better teams. Like, Jaws doesn't love him because he didn't put up those big winning records. But this is one of the best pitchers in the game for a while. And he was amazing every year of his career until the very end. So yeah, I think he is worth voting for. But a lot of these guys, if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. I don't really feel strongly one way or the other. I do think Jimmy Collins should make it, but I'll throw him a pity vote, but he's not going to make it. Not if he's already at 27%. You know what? Fielder Jones might make it, and I'm always going to vote for Eddie Josh just because I personally like his story. His real life story, anyway. But yeah, I'm not going to vote for the rest of these guys. Honestly, I bet overall, and I bet Mullen and Steinfeld all make it, and I bet nobody else does. That's just my thought. I obviously can't prove that. Would I backflip over getting Mel Ott? Of course I would. There is less than 0% chance that he makes the majors. Or, not that he makes the majors, that he falls to me at number 14. Okay. Andy Reese. Very good hitter. And he can play a bunch of positions pretty well. You're the definition of the kind of player that we're going to find with a scout like this. High floor. He's not great at any position, but as like a super sub who can play a pretty passable center field, there's a lot to like about him. There's a lot to like about the options you give me, strategically. I mean, Fred Frankhouse, I think there's a missed opportunity by calling you Frank Frankhouse. But you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. If my goal is increasing my chances of winning a World Series right now, Reese is the most useful player here. He doesn't do anything great, but he does a lot of things well. And pop off the bench from someone who can not embarrass himself at second or third is pretty good. Oh, let me turn on, because I did this for the other league, so I'm also do it for this league too. It's under rules. No, it's not. It's under players and base gen. Here we go. I wouldn't mind any of these top 3 starting pitchers because they're all very similar. Well, Lizenby is probably the best from a I need a pitcher this year vibe with good work ethic. What about Andy Reese? He's a leader. And what am I rocking right now on the bench? Babe Pinelli, Mike Canode, Hal Janvrin. It's a bunch of players who don't really move the needle at all in any direction. I might move on from Bert Griffith. Like, as much as I liked Bert Griffith, I think he's always going to be driven by his batting average, and his power is mostly driven by his ability to hit triples. I think Dick Cox is the better player right now. And it's kind of shocking to me that he hasn't gotten more love than he has. But yeah, I definitely think he's the better player. What can I say? I really enjoy seeing high on base percentages. Okay. He'd be a big infield slash outfielder off the bench. Man, I'm really tempted by you. But on the other hand, I need a young, dependable strike thrower. And I don't have one of those right now. I have two people who throw strikes, and they're both well over the age of 30. Am I going to do the boring thing and take Hod Lisenby here? No, I'm not going to take Lisenby just because his third pitch isn't very good. I think I'd take Frank Frankhouse. Andy, I hope you're still here when I take my second pick, but I know you probably won't be. But this is just something I have to do for my team. I need a consistent strike thrower so that all my eggs aren't in one basket. That hurt. I actually really wanted to take him. Oh well. Carl Lind is a good hitter that can't play position at all. That can't play the position at all. I'm going to make a hard pass on that. I'll take Herb Bradley. I can always use another reliever or two. Art Rubel. If he was 19, I'd take him with this exact stat, but... I will take Ollie Tucker and just see how he does in the minors. We're already at the garbage players, aren't we? Yeah, we are. I'm just going to go ahead and say, go ahead and do the rest of the draft. Man, I hope I don't miss that Randy Reese character, because I think he could have been a great fit for the team. But I have 3 young pitchers with the exact same skill set, and I needed someone else to help mitigate that risk. Even if I will instantly change his name to Frank Frankhouse, I'm not going to accept his name being Fred. Come on. Excellent. Your name, dear sir. Why can I not edit you? Here it is. Your name is now Frank Fred Frankhouse, not... There we go. Do good, Frank. Do good. Could you stop turning people into relief pitchers, team? He's not a reliever. He's a starter. I want him to start. See? 45 out of 49. SMH. You know, if I wanted another outfielder off the bench, I can think of a lot worse choices than Tilly Walker. On the other hand, there's also Howdy Caton, who probably didn't know. I don't really like any of you guys. Maybe Mike Gazella? If all you were was a bat off the bench and I could get a couple of quality... The thing is, I have a pretty deep outfield, right? And I'm going to be trading Bert Griffith before the season anyway. So I don't really need an outfielder. I'm kind of tempted by Howdy Caton. But I think the shortstop I just acquired is a little bit better. Like, Chappie here is a little bit more well-rounded. And I know there's no reason not to have two good shortstops. Because especially, I'd rather have him than, say, Hal Janvrin. Maybe I will pick him up. Howdy, Caton. I'm going to take you. And that's all I'm going to take, really. I don't really feel an overwhelming urge to grab anyone else. And then we'll go up to the Hall of Fame voting results. Carger made it too. But the other three I predicted made it. I think Jimmy Collins should have made it. But I get why he didn't. I mean, the real-life Jimmy Collins was a touch better, but I kind of think this version of Jimmy Collins should have made it too. I'm not sad that he didn't, but I kind of think he did deserve it. Now, I do hope that Ed McFarland does get in next year. Just because he was a really great catcher who contributed quite a lot defensively. Like, he was legitimately an excellent defensive catcher. And those just don't grow on trees. So, I hope that he makes it next season. But we'll see. And then we're going to go up to preseason and then spring training. I mean, you can give me an off-season budget of $20 million. If I don't have anyone I can actually spend the money on, it doesn't matter. Ooh, Howdy got a little bit better. Dick Cox got a tiny bit worse. But I'm not upset. Now, decision time. Oh God, yeah, it's because I picked a player to look at his stats. It's on me. Do I keep Bert Griffith around for a season as kind of a super sub in the outfield? His statistical record doesn't lie. He's going to hit for a decent average, and he's going to show a little bit of power, and that's it. In 1927, having a right fielder who hits 0 home runs is just not going to cut it. And it's not like he's like a future Hall of Famer either. If he had 10 more seasons with 3 wins each season, he'd still only be worth 30 wins above replacement. And granted, Dick Cox may not turn out to be very much either, because apparently he just got drafted at the age of 24. What am I being offered for the likes of Bert Griffith these days? I am being offered reasonably decent players, none of whom fill a real area of need. I think I'm going to keep Bert Griffith for this season as a backup. Or let me check something here. No, you're pretty good on either side of the ball. And maybe save you to trade for a need halfway through the season when people are a bit more desperate. I don't want Hudlin or Frankhouse in the majors this season if I can avoid it. I can at least give you... No, I don't even want you getting reps in spring training. I didn't really want Leo DeRocher getting reps in spring training, but here we are. Man, so many of my problems are just because Leo DeRocher was literally the worst last season. Bump Hadley is throwing harder after getting bone chips taken out of his elbow. That's what was holding him back. Who knows? But, they really want me to make Willis Hudlin a reliever. Which he really wasn't one in real life. I mean, that's not great. I don't like Hank Severeid getting hurt. I may be tanking without even trying. Like, holy crap, we've gotten our asses beat. Yeah, I agree. I do not want to make this deal. Alright. So the first thing that we need to do is figure out the easy decisions. Who is staying in the majors and who is going to the minors? Paul Schreiber to the minors. Kent Greenfield to the minors. Pedro Debut to the minors. I got to get rid of one more pitcher. Probably Hub Pruitt. I still want him to be a starter if he can pull that off, but I also want him to get more experience doing that. So I'm going to send Hub Pruitt to the minors. Meaning Guy Cantrell makes the team. Catchers. I don't know when Severeid is coming back, but I do know that Moore isn't much better. So I'm kind of okay just having Mo Berg start the season. Mike Canode to the minors. Joe Connolly to Gone. I really don't think Bill Cunningham serves a purpose anymore. What can I get for you, Mr. Cunningham? I can get bad players, or I could not. And I want DeRocher playing every day in the minor leagues. I'm hoping that if he plays in AAA, he'll get his shit together. Okay. Pitching. Clear the staff. Ratings. Okay. Lefty Williams, ace. Doc Ayers, number 2. Bump Hadley's got a ton of upside, and I want to give him the chance to show that, so he's going to pitch 3rd. And then Earl Whitehill's going to pitch 4th, and Dave Davenport is going to be our 5th starter. We do not have a Smash Glass call-up starter at the moment. But I really don't want to use Hub Pruitt in that role, but maybe that is his best role. Yeah, maybe his best role is as like a super reliever. I'm tired of forcing him to be something he might never pull off. So Hub, I'm gonna call you up. And I'm gonna send down probably Cantrell. Unless Cantrell's a lefty. No, I'll send down Cantrell. Okay. So Hub Pruitt, you're my emergency starter, long reliever. Tommy Atkins, you're my stopper. And everyone else just kind of is a middle reliever. Like, again, this is an era where you're not going to get a huge amount of use in the bullpen. So we can see how that works out. Oh no, I reset things too early. Oh well. Pie Trainer's getting better at playing 3rd. Maurice Archdeacon is getting a tiny bit worse. DeRocher's contact is getting better, but I'm not really worried about that. Who's in the top 100? Any Boston Braves? Yes, Frank Frankhouse. Good job, Frank. You be the Frankiest Frank you can be. Go ahead and set Hub to reliever. Lineup. Clear them all. Again, Jim Bottomley is our best hitter. I'll make him number 3. Goose Goslin is going to clean up. And then I think the best overall hitter left on the team is probably Dick Cox, with Hank Severeid batting second. Monsieur Archdeacon remains one of the best leadoff hitters you could want. And I like Pie Trainer batting second. You got a bit of power from the 7-hole. And then the best possible shortstop is Howdy? Yeah, Howdy. This is probably playing Bert Griffith a bit too much, but I'm willing to see what we get out of it. And then we're going to pop over here and just paste it right in as is. I'm going to be honest, as we get ready to start the season, the biggest key to our success is going to be, first of all, Jim Bottomley's power coming back. And second, Goose Goslin needs to get back to his 5-win level, not his 3-win level. But we'll see. 1927 was the year of the Yankees' murderer's row, so it's going to be a good year for offense. I'm really worried about Hank Severeid, though. I'm hoping that this PCL injury gets healed pretty doggone quick. Because otherwise, we're going to have some issues. Bum Hadley's improving his control. Goose Goslin got better. Oh, look at that. Frank Frankhouse is pitching faster. That's some good stuff. All right. What? Earl Whitehill threw a no-hitter? Well done. Yeah, I don't really care about Johnny Cooney anymore. He's dead to me. I'm kidding. But damn, son. I'll take randomest pitcher to get a no-hitter on this roster for 500, Alex. Right. We're going to lose Tommy Atkins for 2 weeks. He is kind of important, but he's not mega important. I don't really know who I'd call up to replace him. So I think maybe we just let him heal while he's on the roster and just do what he can. Damn, Lefty Williams. And then we turned around and got shut out by freaking a man named Waddy. Come on. Really? Waddy? That's the name of the man who beat us. Whitehill is getting better. Williams is a little better. Davenport's a little better. Pie Trainer's a tiny bit worse. Chappie's improving ever so slightly. Dick Cox is getting better. What's our issue this season? We're only 27 and 30. I mean, Pie Trainer falling off completely is not a great look. Bump, you need to be striking people out, my dude. I can't really afford to send him to the minors just because he's so important as a young player. But man, bro, you gotta be able to strike people out. It's what you're supposed to be good at, and the fact you're walking more than you're striking out isn't helping. But I have a feeling that they'll get better with more reps. Howdy Caton is below replacement level. Are you at least playing shortstop well? You're not playing shortstop well. You're not even getting on base. I mean, you're getting on base a little bit, but... Is anyone trading a shortstop who isn't the worst? Like, I'm just looking for not the worst. Jim O'Neill may be the bloody definition of not the worst at shortstop. Here, you want this crappy reliever? Fine. I'm going to go ahead and just return Howdy to his team. Browns can have him back. Remember, Jim, your job is very simple. Be not the worst. I want replacement level play from you. That is what I seek from you at this stage in your career. I'm not saying I wouldn't love Joe Sewell, but I don't really want to give up Goose Goslin. Is this worth it? Is it worth taking an all-around incredible hitter but getting an all-around incredible shortstop out of it? If I offer you Pie Trainer and Ed Cotter, you'd take this deal? What if I just offered you Ed Cotter? I don't really want to give up Trainer if I don't have to. Especially because third base or shortstop's what I really need to upgrade. I'm going to have to give up some kind of player, like a decent player for this, right? Joe Sewell is so freaking good. Like, we're talking elite megastar good. And Pie Trainer hasn't been that amazing. But then here's the big issue. We're basically trading one problem for another problem. Alright, throw in Rube Lutzky. And I'll offer you Kent Greenfield. So what this does, this gives me a replacement level player to play at third. but gives us a megastar to play at shortstop. And I think we desperately need this if we're going to be competitive for years to come. I'm pulling the trigger. I think that's the right call. You always take superstar talent over mediocre talent. And I'm tired of just settling at shortstop. What have you played more of during your career, Mr. Sewell? Have you mostly been a shortstop for Pittsburgh or a third baseman? You've mostly played third base, but your career's still pretty young. The active roster is full, isn't it? Babe Pinelli, I'm just going to go ahead and waive you and designate you for assignment. And we'll let Mr. Lutsky here play third for us as a starting third baseman. So instantly, Joe Sewell becomes a shortstop and the number 2 hitter. Mr. Lutsky is going to be playing third base. And then I copy and paste this between lineups. Friends, I am over the moon with that trade. And I'm really glad I didn't have to give up Goslin for it. I briefly thought about it. Ever so slightly, I briefly thought about it. But when you get a chance to grab a player like Joe Sewell, you have to do it. And it fixes our biggest issue. This now makes Leo DeRocher expendable. I could have Leo DeRocher play third. I have options that I didn't have. I can move him to second and have him learn second. I have genuine options. And all it took was one trade. And I know Pie Trainer is overrated. He's absolutely overrated, and he will continue to be overrated. Yeah. Let's go. One coach didn't want an extension. It was you, Jack Field. You probably just wanted a little bit more money. The most important person's salary is up for renegotiation here at the end of the season. It's me. Who are the All-Stars this season? Hank Severeid again. Lefty Williams. First time as starters made the All-Star team for us in a while. Joe Sewell. Goose Goslin. Nice. Nice. Ooh, Bucketfoot Al beat Babe Ruth. Sorry, Babe Ruth St. Louis Brown is still so wrong to me. I apologize, but it's... yikes. Did Mel Ott not get signed again? Oh no, he just went right to the majors. He's still ranked as a number 1 prospect. Okay. Bottom leaf starting to dip a little bit. It's just a slight dip. It's not actually tanking. Wait, I have to see something here. Cuckoo. I thought his name was Cuckoo Chickasaw or Cuckoo Chainsaw. Cuckoo Christensen is a much less impressive name. I'm a little bit sad now. You can enjoy your time in the minors. go up to roster expansion. I mean, I would love to trade for... I wouldn't mind trading for Glenn Wright and having an amazing third base shortstop combination. But you would be borderline insane to give me Glenn Wright. Yeah. And you're not that stupid. So I will immediately accept that. I would love Joe Cronin, actually. But again, you'd be pretty stupid to take that deal. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the automatic trade offers. That's under team needs. I got my superstar shortstop when the Pirates offered me Joe Sewell. All right. Absolutely critical time. What do we need to make our team more competitive besides properly listing Joe Sewell at shortstop? He's playing shortstop, right? Yes. Kindly list yourself as such. There we go. Yeah, this lineup will play real nice. I mean, Rube's not great, but I'm okay. I'd rather have a third baseman that's a lineup suck than a shortstop that's a lineup suck. What would we most like to do here? I kind of want to let DeRocher play a bit more at second and then think about getting rid of Parkinson next year. Like, he's fine for what he is, but what he is isn't amazing. I think DeRocher would be a better player if he sticks at second. We have almost an embarrassment of riches in the lineup just because of having Bert freaking Griffith available to play right field and sub in. Because my word, the man can hit. What would we upgrade right now? Maybe it's starting pitcher. So who's available in the starting pitcher market? Give me starters. Really? Not very good pitchers. And I guess that makes sense, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go to the trading deadline. No, I don't want your shitty reliever. Or your mediocre center fielder. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to trade you or trade for you, but not give up Bert Griffith as the cost. So let's do this and this. And I'll offer you Cy Rosenthal. And I'm just going to see if you take it. Because you're a really solid all-around center fielder or outfielder. And I know that Cy Rosenthal is a better hitter, but I also know he can't play center. Although he's been a great bat off the bench. Nah. I'm going to keep him. What? treason. It's treason, then. I do not approve of your nonsense, Kent Greenfield. Is it the Goose? No, it's Maurice Archdeacon. Nice. Alright. That is unfortunate. Who is first man up starting-wise? Is it really Frank? Like, Frank Frankhouse has been getting his brains hammered in the minors. Let me trade Bill Cunningham for a starting pitcher. Oh shit, it has passed, hasn't it? Slim, if I made you a starting pitcher, what would you look like as a starter? You'd be pretty bad. I really don't want Frank Frankhouse in the majors, unfortunately. I guess call up Schreiber and then have Hub Pruitt be the second starter? Like, Schreiber's a really good pitcher, right? You know what, Jim O'Neill? I respect that, but also kindly tell you to put a sock in it. Do we have any chance whatsoever making the playoffs with this little time left in the season? Like, the answer is no, right? You're already as good at second as you ever were at short, and you're having a much better season in the minors. I'd probably make you my opening day second baseman next season. Damn it, Riggs Stevenson, that is not nice. You're not allowed to hit for the cycle against me. But I shut up for Bump Hadley. And for Pruitt. So I'm 7 games out. I'd have to be pretty damn good to have even a snowball's chance at winning the pennant. I'm gonna try it, obviously, but I don't like our chances a huge amount. And we've been eliminated. You know what? I'm okay with this. And I'll tell you why I'm okay with it. First of all, I mean, oh boy, it's a Subway Series. Who gives a shit? The Yankees won. Gross. But I'll tell you why I'm not that bothered by it. I'm not that bothered because... Nice. Yeah, I approve of that, buddy. Aw, yeah. Who the heck is Hal McCain? I don't know, or why people care about him, but they do. But yeah, this was an okay season. It maybe wasn't a perfect season, but it was definitely a good one. And look, we addressed the two biggest holes on the team. We got a new ace in Lefty Williams, and we got a new ace shortstop in Joe Sewell. And I'm not saying we gave up nothing to get Joe Sewell, but my word, we made out like bandits. Let's just drink in the ridiculousness of this lineup now. Like, yes, Rube Lutzky sucked. But at least he was average defensively, and I will take that. But Goose Goslin, Jim Bottomley, Maurice Archdeacon, Joe Sewell, Hank Severeid, Dick Cox, all amazing players. If we play, what's-his-face instead of Frank Parkinson, Leo DeRocher next season, I think he makes quite the Major League comeback. I really do. And just keep in mind that there's still higher levels that some of these players can reach. But that I'm also, like, ecstatically happy with what we've gotten out of the team. And we fixed the error. We fixed the big problem. And I cannot tell you how important that was to me. And Dick Cox was highway robbery. He was everything we wanted him more out of the right field position. You can argue that Bert Griffith would have done the same thing, but as long as Bert's willing to be a team player about it, I do not mind at all having someone that I can plug in right field and get great production out of. Look at Earl Whitehill's season as a hitter. Damn, bro. But yeah, I feel very good about this team's chances next season. Now, we're still very much a team in progress with the rotation, though. And yes, Lefty Williams had a great year. And yes, so did Earl Whitehill. But good old Bump here was merely okay. He's not striking people out enough. This strikeout to walk ratio will not fly in the majors. And I'm really hoping that that improves in the very near future. Earl Whitehill has really cemented himself as a reliable starter. Maybe not the very best starter, but a very reliable one. Hub Pruitt gave us some really critical innings. We got a great year out of Tommy Atkins. Dave Davenport exists. I think we need another starter or two. How good was Doc Atkins this year? Was he still pretty good before he got injured? He was pretty okay. But we really need another excellent starting pitcher. Which might just be Bump Hadley figures out how to throw strikes. How did Frank Frankhouse end his season in the minors? One of the worst pitchers in the minor leagues. However, I still think he's got a really bright future as a starting pitcher. I think he just needs another year to figure himself out. But I think I've seen what I needed to from Leo DeRocher. I think Leo DeRocher made huge strides in his second season in the minors. And I'm thinking that by putting him at second, he'll be in a better position to succeed. And then we can think about what else we can do. Just real quick before I end the episode. Who wants Bill Cunningham? I could get Jack Scott for him, which is more tempting than it seems, but I can probably do better if I trade someone else. So we'll think about that. But I really think we made big strides in having our team prepared for the future and for great success in the future. Our rotation is a lot younger now, even if it's maybe not as good as it once was. We only have one starter over 30. Well, I mean, Dave Davenport's over 32, but I hope it's understood that he's gone. I will tolerate this from someone like Bump Hadley. Not from you, bruh. I don't know. You might be a really useful back of the pen kind of pitcher, like that extra sixth starter that you sometimes need in a pinch. But everyone else is very meh right now. Gotta say, Bump Hadley has all kinds of a future ahead of him. So does Hub Pruitt, if they can both keep their walks in check. I'm not saying this is going to be like the greatest rotation that ever lived, but I have some hope for them. Frank Frankhouse, I hope you frank it up this offseason and really work on becoming a better pitcher. But that is going to conclude this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, please remember to give likes or comments. Those are both really helpful. Subscribe to the channel for more OOTP content every Monday and Friday. And until next time, this has been Indian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.